So, as you can see behind me, these aren't the usual beautiful New Zealand landscapes that you tend to see in my videos. However, I'm en route to a location called Duda Regional Park, and it's about 9:30 in the morning, but we've still got some gorgeous fog. Now, I live on the north shore of Auckland, so naturally we get some really beautiful views of Auckland's skyline, of the cityscape. And with this fog this morning, it's pretty rare. And although, like I say, these aren't the landscapes that I'm used to shooting, I just had to pull over and try and take this opportunity and, you know, see what I can get with my camera. Now, the cloud of fog is slowly moving its way across, so it is changing all the time. And I'm trying a couple of things. I'm trying like one or two just sort of handheld panoramas with my camera. And I've got my 18 to 55mm lens on as well. And I'm trying a few sort of zoomed in at 55mm, zoomed towards the sort of sky tower that I hope you can sort of see there in the distance. But yeah, like I say, super rare event, especially this late in the day. On top of that, in the city as well. And hopefully I get one or two nice images. So I'll show you them now, and then we will continue on our journey to Duda Regional Park. So welcome to Duda, guys, and it is looking pretty spectacular actually. Not really the best conditions for photography, for landscape photography. We've got no clouds in the sky, we're going to have really harsh light, so I think it's going to be a little bit of a scouting mission, if anything, which is fine, and just a nice day out, a nice stroll, so perfect weather for that sort of thing. I really hope you enjoyed them shots of Auckland, the sort of cityscapes, or I don't know, the skyline shots if you want to call them that. And yeah, I was really lucky to get them conditions. I think I'm glad I jumped on the opportunity there. It got me thinking anyway on the drive here as to whether or not I'd regard that as landscape photography, because I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I should actually put that in my vlog. It's buildings at the end of the day, but I think I do. I think to me it's like a man-made landscape, you know, so it still counts. And either way, I love my sort of travel photography, so I do enjoy taking them sort of shots. So I thought I'd put it on there because I'm still sort of passionate about it as well. So I don't know, maybe I'll ask you guys the question, do you think that is still regarded as a landscape photography? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on that. But yeah, Duda is looking absolutely gorgeous. To be honest, I was actually supposed to come here for sunrise this morning, and I think there's supposed to be a bit of fog here as well, so I'm a little bit disappointed because I think the conditions would have been absolutely spectacular. However, I think I'm going to ask you guys another question here, but when I know I've got to get up for sunrise photography, for some reason I can never sleep, and I really don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm excited to get out with my camera in gorgeous conditions, probably my favourite conditions during sunrise, or whether or not I'm just dreading the fact that I've got to get up early. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's one of the two. And yeah, I'll ask you guys the question again, do you guys experience that? It's super frustrating. But yeah, I'm excited to be here today all the same. Like I say, the landscapes are looking stunning. So without further ado, let's go and explore. Oh. Oh no, it doesn't get more Kiwi than this. We're walking through a field of sheep. What a spot. Oh, so Absolutely stunning landscapes here. I'm so glad I came, even though the light's so harsh. I was definitely disappointed that I didn't make it for the sunrise, but this feels like it's been a successful scouting mission already. I can come straight back here. I know the track. I've got a little idea of the landscapes, and hopefully I'll find a couple of subjects as well. And on that note, I have found one. Now, before I get into this, I've got a friend, a guy called Peter Denniston, who's based in Auckland, and he's a wonderful landscape photographer. I'll put a link to his Instagram up here. But because he's based here, I asked him for a lot of recommendations and stuff like that. And I asked him if he'd been here to do the regional park, and he said he had. He said it's worth checking out, and he basically said to me to keep an eye out for the lone trees. So really good recommendation. But yeah, go and check out his Instagram and give him a follow. He's a wonderful fine art photographer, a lot of black and white photography, which isn't really my style, as you know, but I'm still hugely inspired by his work. But anyway, I found this gorgeous tree here, which he's just asking to be photographed really, and I'm not going to lie, I do wish the light was better, but it's not getting me down. This is a fantastic subject, and like I say, I can return to it if I do want to improve the image. But I'm going to try a couple of things here. We've still got a pretty nice long shadow here because we're in winter, so the sun is still pretty low in the sky. So I want to try and capture that with the tree in as well. And then I might try a second image of trying to capture a little bit of a sunburst from the sun through the branches and the leaves of the tree. So yeah, that can be a nice little challenge. So I'm going to get myself set up now and see if I can nail those two images. Alright, so I'm framed up for this shot, and I think I'm going to be pretty happy with it, to be honest. I think it's going to be a pretty decent first image of the day. So, really simple. We've got the tree as a subject, and then we've got the grass and the sky, and we're getting that gorgeous long shadow on the sort of right hand side of the frame as well. Like I keep mentioning, it would definitely be improved with better light. However, I can come back. It's as simple as that, and this is still a pretty nice shot. And like I say, a bit of a scouting mission. It's going to give me a really good subject to come straight back to if that's what I want to do. So I have got that option. I'm shooting at 1/200th of a second. Tripod's not really necessary, to be honest. I'm just using it to make sure I keep my composition all nice and steady. F9 ISO 100. Shooting at 11mm. All I've got to watch out for here with this wide angle lens is getting a little bit of lens flare. I should probably have brought my lens hood with me, to be honest, but what you can do is just put your hand there, play around with it a little bit. Obviously make sure your hand's not in the frame when you're taking the image, and you can completely block the lens flare, which is all I'm going to do. So I've got that on, that's sorted, 2-second timer, and that looks wonderful. Fantastic first image. It tells a really nice story of this landscape actually. Happy with that one. Alright, not a bad shot. Now, set up for the second image, and just trying to get a little bit of sun flare through the tree, like I said I was going to try. And again, I actually really like the way it looks, even in the harsh light, to be honest. It's wonderful. And I think the only thing to say here is you've got to make sure you've got quite a small aperture to make sure you get that sunburst effect through the trees. So I'm shooting at f/22 ISO 100. It's giving me a shutter speed of 1/30th of a second. So I've took a couple of them already. We'll see how this one turns out. It does look wonderful, and like I say, with that smaller aperture you do really get a nice sunburst effect through the trees. And obviously because the tree's blocking a little bit of the sunlight, the light isn't too harsh, and yeah, capturing a nice sort of line of the hill that kind of goes across the bottom third of the image, and even a little bit of the shadow of the tree again there as well at the bottom. So a couple of half decent images there, I think, and if I do come back at sunrise and sunset, I shall definitely be returning to this tree. Also, anyone from New Zealand or anywhere that knows the trees, what is the name of this tree? Because I don't have a clue. I am horrendous with trees, and mentioned a couple of times that I watch Adam Gibbs, and he seems to be able to name trees like that. Whereas yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm useless with trees. Perhaps I should challenge myself a little bit and try and learn a little bit more. But anyway, yeah, a couple of nice shots, and I'm going to continue to explore. I think I'd like to get something a little bit vaster. of the landscape here, because it is spectacular. So yeah, I'm gonna pack my stuff away and see what I can find.
Tonight, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. But let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected.
Alright, so I think I've got another shot here. The lighting is horrendous. To be honest, I'm just going to mention it once more. It is really bad. Very strong contrast between the highlights and the shadows, unfortunately, but extremely pleasant to be out. It's so peaceful here, and there's not as many people here as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to get straight into this image because it's all very simple again, but really nice scene here. Gorgeous sort of rolling volcanic hills. I really like the fences that lead throughout the image as well. Another nice prominent tree as a subject on the right hand side, and yeah, I just like the whole scene together as one. I think the sky is really distracted in this image just because it's a plain blue canvas, but I am really trying to think as in, you know, if I come back here and the light is really nice, I think this would be a lovely place to shoot in nice light because of all the dips and hills in the landscape. There'd be some really, really nice contrasts between the highlights and the shadows in golden hour. So this image, 1/250th of a second. F9 ISO 100, and I'm underexposing a little bit just because the sky is overexposed, and I don't mind if the land itself is underexposed. And yeah, that's come out pretty nice. Like I say, really strong contrast between the highlights and the shadows, but pretty nice image all the same. So that's it for today, and thanks a lot for watching. Not really the best day for it really, but yeah, nice to scout a new location, and always nice and pleasant to be out when the weather is this beautiful. So thanks ever so much for sharing it with me, and yeah, if you're new, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week on the next adventure. Out.